turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Turn it way up, turn it way up.
Crank that volume, turn it way up, way up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up, way up. Put your hands, put your city, put your fans, put your state up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up, way up, way up, way up.
All right, on today's video, we are back at the Crawford County Sportsman's Club, and today we are out here to do the first impressions video on the Palmetto State Armory Jakl. Now, the Jakl comes in a lot of different variants and colors. They have 223, and they also have 300 blackout in the Jakl. They have pistol versions of this. They have rifle versions of this. This particular model is obviously FDE, and this is the 14.5 pinned and welded version, and this one is chambered in 223-556. Now, if you have not watched the unboxing video on this, I will link it in the description below. If you watch it on YouTube, it will be a censored version. If you watch it on my Rumble channel, I actually took this apart, showed you the gas system and everything on this Jakl. The reason we're calling this first impressions video today is because I have not fired one round through this yet. In fact, I don't even have the Gideon Optics Guardian 1-10 on here zeroed in yet. But there are a few things that I need to change on this gun. I'm a left-handed shooter, so this gun does not come with an ambi safety selector. I'm also going to be switching out the mag release for an ambi mag release. Other than that, the only other thing that I probably see that we will be doing in the future will be putting a trigger in this. But basically all I want to do today is shoot about 150 rounds through this today. We've got a stage set up. We're going to shoot multiple USPSA targets, and we're just going to kind of talk about the Jakl as the day goes on. This is going to take some getting used to. First target on the right, we got 2 alpha. Then we move over here and we got an alpha and a delta. That's terrible. All right, 2 targets over on the left. We got 2 alpha, 2 alpha. All right, then our 2 targets at the far end of the bay. We've got an alpha and we got a Charlie, just barely. And our last target at the end of the bay, we've got 2 alpha. Alright, first target's on the right. We got an Alpha Charlie. 2 Alpha. Alpha Charlie. 2 Alpha. Alright, targets at the far end of the bay. We've got 2 Alpha. And we have an Alpha Charlie. Alright, my first impressions of the Jakl after shooting a few rounds through it. I have a feeling it's going to be a long video because there's just a lot to talk about. I want to get a con out of the way right off the get-go here. I did not like the recoil impulse on this. Now, with that being said, before I started filming this video, I've been shooting the Frontline 16 all day, and I've got that gun set up exactly how I want it with the Cox Arms Battle Brake that is just such a smooth shooting rifle. So it's a big transition going from that to this. But with that being said, we do have the adjustable gas block, so we should be able to tune this right where we want it. The other thing I want to talk about is the stock. Now, I've watched a lot of videos on this Jakl before I brought it out here, and the stock seems to have a mixed bag of feelings on it. I love the way it looks. I mean, I think this whole gun is just badass looking, but I want to say that I actually am liking the stock. So I am running it one click back in from full extension, and I'm also running the cheek riser here up on an angle, and I find it to be fairly comfortable. I know a lot of guys like it, and I've heard other people say they don't care for it, but it's working great for me. All right, I made an adjustment to the gas block. I wasn't really liking the recoil impulse on this, so I went 2 clicks and then the bolt wouldn't cycle. So I went back 1 click. Let's see if this changes anything. That was night and day different. That felt really good. All right, adjusting that gas even helped tighten these groups up a little bit. We got 2 alpha. 2 alpha. That's what I'm talking about. 2 alpha. 2 alpha. 2 alpha. Barely, but 2 alpha. And 2 alpha. Here we go. Target on the right. 2 alpha. 2 alpha. Alpha Charlie. 2 alpha. 2 alpha. And our last target at the far end of the bay. Nice tight little group. 2 alpha. All right, the more rounds I put through this Jakl, I'm starting to really like it. All right, the first part of the test, we've been running all my 55 grain arms core reloads. Let's switch it up this time. Now we're going to run my 62 grain arms core reloads. All right, our first target on the right, 2 alpha, nice tight little group right there. The next target, we got 2 alpha. All right, our target on the opposite side of the bay, we've got an Alpha Charlie. And then we've got 2 alpha. Now we're down to our targets at the very end of the bay. Our far targets, we've got 2 alpha. And another nice little tight group right there of 2 alpha. All right, one thing that I noticed with the 62 grain reloads, very soft shooting, but we did not get locked back on the last round. That's one nice thing about having this adjustable gas block. I can adjust for that round. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the Jakl. Well, we made that gas adjustment, and that changed everything. Now this feels like a totally different gun. I'm actually enjoying shooting it now. So I got that recoil impulse right where I want it now with the gas adjusted to where it's at for those 55 grain bullets that I brought out here to test it with. The other thing I want to talk about is the side charger. I really like having the side charger. I have one other AR with the side charger and become a pretty big fan of them. So I'm actually enjoying having this on the Jakl. Let's talk a little bit about the shooting experience on the Jakl. This is definitely going to feel different to people who are going from the AR platform and that's all they've ever shot to this. To me, this kind of has a cross feeling between an AR and an AK. It is very front heavy. The gun itself is quite a bit heavier than what most of your ARs are going to be. It's not a bad experience at all. It's just different, and it is going to take you a little bit of getting used to if all you've ever shot is an AR and you're going to this Jakl platform.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade out. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade out. Damage, then you gon' pay up.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade out. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Turn it way up, turn it way up.
Crank that volume, turn it way up, way up.
All right, my final thoughts on my first impressions of the PSA Jakl. I really enjoyed shooting this thing today. This gun is just so much different than anything else I have in my collection. It was just a lot of fun shooting this today. All right, let's hit on some things that I really like about this gun and some things that I don't too much care for. Reliability. Wow, this thing ran flawless all day. Now, we did take it apart and we cleaned and lubed it before I brought it out here. I wanted to make sure, you know, nothing was loose or out of spec or anything like that. So we did do a thorough cleaning on it, lubed her all up with Breakthrough Clean and brought it out here. We had one issue, and that was when we were shooting the 62 grain reloads. We didn't get locked back on the last round. All we had to do was make a gas adjustment, and then those ran fine. Now, as a reloader, I think this gun would be a lot of fun for other reloaders out there. You could literally fine-tune around for this. You can fine-tune the gas adjustment on this, and I really like that aspect of it. I love the side charger. Now, the recoil impulse on this, even though it's a little more rough, let's say, than the AR, it's really enjoyable to shoot. I like the feel of this gun when you're shooting it. It's just got a really cool recoil impulse to it, especially once you get that gas adjusted where you want it. Now, the cons, they're not really cons. They're just things that I need to do to get this gun to where I want it. I am going to put a 45-degree ambi safety selector on this. I'll probably put the Aero Precision Pro ambi safety selector on it that we used on the Frontline 16. I also want to get an angled foregrip out here on the front. I just run those on all my ARs and on AKs, so I want to have an angled foregrip out there. We'll get that taken care of. Magazine release, definitely gonna put an ambi mag release on this. Those aren't really any issues of the gun. Those are just things I need being a wrong-handed shooter. One of the cons of this is the trigger. I don't like the trigger at all in this. I've heard some guys say that they really like it, and I've heard other guys say they don't much care for it. I'm definitely going to put a flat drop-in trigger in this. But other than that, I don't really think there's much more I want to change on this. All right, so we got a lot more coming with the Jakl. We'll keep making videos as we put all the ambi controls on it. We'll get a drop-in trigger in it. We'll go over that. We'll probably end up doing a trigger install video over on Rumble. So quite a bit coming out with the Jakl. Definitely going to be a 1,000-round review on this because this thing's just too much fun shooting. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.